you're not even sure if you should or can actually be here this time of night, high above the city. So you wait with your car parked next to the giant tower, hoping to experience hearing the sounds of a phantom band or catching the sight of a ghostly figure. After several minutes of absolutely nothing, you decide to drive along the road. It was fun while it lasted, but your brain is already on the events of the next day. In fact, you're so distracted that you barely see them in time. The shadowy figure of a woman on the road who vanishes as you screech to a stop. Did you just run over a ghost?
Oops.
I'm Bree.
And I'm Christiana.
Get ready to climb up Mount Penn.
Because you're about to hear something strange.
Welcome to episode 44, Reading, Pennsylvania Hauntings.
Woo!
Alright, so, quick trigger warning here.
Okay.
Quick. With a lot of these kind of combination of hauntings, there's a lot of yucky things that cause the hauntings.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I just tried to hold your hand.
We haven't even started and you're scared already. Alright, murder.
Moida.
Infanticide.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes. Don't like that.
Severing of limbs.
Cool.
Death by decapitation. Desecration of a grave/grave monument.
Ew, don't do that.
And suicide.
Okay.
Alright. So let me run through our sources. And also, I did not get every single haunting in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I'm sure. It'd be hard to do that.
Yes.
Write a whole novel.
There's multiple. There's actually a person named, I'll talk about them in passing later, Charles Adams, who has several books of Berks County hauntings.
Ooh.
I didn't really use too many of them because I wrote this really fast.
It would be a 300-hour long episode.
I've read a lot of them. My aunt has them.
Okay.
But, okay, sources. Experience Reading and Berks County. Haunted places in Berks County. Wikipedia, Reading, Pennsylvania. Ghost stories from the William Penn Memorial Fire Tower.
Ooh.
Spooky season in Berks County. Experience Reading and Berks County. Berks Living, Tales of Haunted Berks. Ghosts and Legends of Berks County, Pennsylvania by Elizabeth Page, which is a book.
Mm-hmm.
Berks Nostalgia, and the Dreamland Park Murders.
Ooh.
So, if you can't tell, Reading, Pennsylvania is in Berks County, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
So, what do you know about Reading, Pennsylvania, and do you know of any of the hauntings?
I don't know a lot about Reading itself, other than the fact that the Reading World War II air show happens there that I go to every year.
At the airport?
At the airport, right.
We have a tiny little airport in Reading.
Yes. And there's the... Oh no, what's it called now? I'm picturing...
Museum,
Pagoda. Pagoda, thank you. I kept trying to say pergola, and I'm like, nope, that's not it.
Call out all the landmarks in Reading until I hit the right one.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, there is the pagoda up there. That's on Mount Penn, which overlooks the city of Reading.
Yes. It's a pretty good hike, isn't it? I think you said at one point you can drive there, but can you hike there too?
I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Never mind.
I wouldn't personally. Reading is not known for inner city Reading is not known as being the safest place in the world.
Yeah.
Like West Reading, Wyomissing, pretty nice. They're a little bit bougie if you get close to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But Reading itself is not the nicest place the further in the city you get.
Yeah. I've never really been, like I said, a lot of what I know of Reading is like where the municipal airport is. Mm-hmm. And when I'm at World War II weekend, I'm at the airport and I don't leave.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess a little bit of background. This was a voted in topic. It was briefly mentioned when we were talking about probably Hawk Mountain.
Yeah, probably.
And so I'm from the greater Reading area. I'm not from Reading. I'm from a small town called Fleetwood that's just kind of between Reading and Kutztown.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my parents grew up in Reading. My older siblings spent a lot of their childhood and teenage years in Reading. I did not.
No.
But both of my parents grew up in the city. My grandparents did. So I'm fairly familiar with the city. My first job was in the city at the mall.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, a little bit of history of Reading, Pennsylvania. So I'm going to give us like a too long didn't read TLDR.
Perfect.
So like we said, the city of Reading is located in Berks County, and it's actually the county seat. According to Wikipedia, Reading, Pennsylvania gave its name to the now defunct Reading Railroad Company
Oh, okay.
of monopoly fame.
Okay, yeah.
The railroad was very important in transporting coal from the PA coal region to the rest of the East Coast.
Mhm.
So as we mentioned in the Hawk Mountain episode, Reading is not horribly far from the coal regions.
No. I may or may not have been looking it up on Google Maps the other day for reasons. And I think Centralia is like an hour and a half from Fleetwood.
If that.
Yeah.
All right, so before European settlers, it was populated by the Lenape people. Europeans would call them the Delaware Indians, quote-unquote Indians.
Yuck.
I'm using the antiquated terms here.
Yeah.
In 1680, the land was granted to William Penn from King Charles II of England. So Pennsylvania literally means like Penn's Woods.
Yes.
In 1743, what would become the city of Reading was mapped out by two of Penn's sons, Richard and Thomas. I'm taking a direct quote from Wikipedia. In Reading, England, the town was established in 1748 upon the creation of Berks County in 1752. Reading became the county seat. The region was settled by immigrants from southern and western Germany who bought land from the Penns. The first Amish community in the New World was established in the greater Reading, Berks County area.
Hi-yo, Pennsylvania Dutch.
Mm-hmm. And there's still a huge population of Amish and Mennonite in Berks and Lancaster counties.
Oh, yeah.
So also, Reading was a military base during the French and Indian War, and had important iron works that assisted the Continental Army during the American Revolution.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's just kind of our quick TLDR. Where is Reading? It's in Berks County.
How far is Lancaster from Reading?
Oh, not far.
I was going to say, they're pretty close neighbors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're
Relatively
the
close.
city of or the county?
The city of Lancaster, I was thinking.
I mean, I have to go through Lancaster to get to my family up in Reading.
Okay.
So it's like technically Park City is in Lancaster.
Yeah.
So it's close.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on our side of Reading.
Okay. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay.
Because you have to go through Lancaster to get to Reading.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to jump into haunted places and folklore of Reading itself. There's a lot that is also Berks County, but just for the sake of time, I tried to stick as much to Reading itself. There were a couple of places that I think I remembered to put in as ideas for maybe future things.
Okay.
So I mentioned Charles Adams before. I'm not going to go too far into him, but he is a local paranormal writer and historian. So there's a bunch of books that he's written. My aunt, who lives in North Carolina, actually has a bunch of them. Last time I was down, she pulled them out for me to look at.
Aw.
She's into spooky stuff too.
Yeah.
So,
Come on the podcast.
well, we'll be recording an episode while I'm down there.
True.
Be like, Aunt, yeah, come over here.
Come over here.
All right, so
Get in here.
Get in here now. So we're gonna get started with Mount Penn and Skyline Drive. So Mount Penn is the mountain that overlooks Reading. I believe it's part of the Blue Mountains in Berks County, which is part of the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay.
And Skyline Drive is a road that is up there.
Yeah.
So, some of the things that are reported here: big band music and laughter of crowds from where a hotel used to stand.
Ooh.
This hotel allegedly burned down, but without any loss of life. Taking a direct quote here: glimpsing two spectral figures standing in the center of Skyline Drive. Apparitions commonly linked to the mountain's double murder-suicides of the 1920s and 30s during the Depression, when Works Progress Administration crews and nearby prisoners built the stone wall that traces the roadway. Workers recorded encounters with the same pair of figures. Each time, the forms dissolved the moment anyone tried to draw near.
Ooh.
That is still there. That road. It goes the stone wall goes up Mount Penn.
Oh, cool.
It's very, so like you get on the road from, I don't know what road, but like Reading is almost like on a hill.
Mm-hmm.
So as you go up the hill, you get closer to Mount Penn.
Okay, sure.
So like Albright College is in Reading, and Albright College is at the upper part of the city. Reading High School is at the upper part of the city, and then you're in the mountain basically.
Okay.
And you get, and there's actually like a race that goes up the road. Like,
ooh.
Like there's like a car race up there sometimes.
Oh, gee.
But it's just really like a mountain climb.
Twisty, windy
Yeah,
road.
that goes up, and there's this stone wall. So
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is that the road that you take to go to the pagoda? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yes. Multiple times I've seen these murder-suicides referenced, but I
couldn't find, like, what?
I also didn't dig that deep, but I saw them referenced, but I didn't see any, like, according to this newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much of this is folklore.
Spooky folklore, spooky stories.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the William Penn Memorial Fire Tower. Oh, you know that I was in a ghost hunting club in high school.
Yes.
My high school had a ghost hunting club, and I was the president and, like, lead investigator for 2 years.
Hi-yo!
And we were able to investigate the pagoda and the fire tower. Don't remember a whole lot because that was like 11th grade, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in the pagoda.
Nothing here.
It was late. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, our investigation finished there. I remember that we didn't catch anything in the tower, but it was creepy.
Ooh.
So let's talk about the William Penn Memorial Fire Tower.
Okay.
It opened October 28th of 1939 as a Works Progress Administration project. So they were trying to find things for people to do in the Depression.
Was this the beginning of the CCC?
I have no clue. What is the CCC?
That's the Civilian Conservation Corps. I'll have to look into that.
No clue. See, then I think about the videos. They'll catch me going, I don't know.
That's okay.
With my face.
Oh.
So this is a 120-foot So just a little heads up, friends. My eyelid is infected. So because of that, it's very watery. And I am having a little bit of blurriness in my vision.
Yeah.
So you might hear me stumbling more than normal reading. I did actually do my own script.
Oh, you're good.
It's a little blurry.
Yeah, you're good.
Future me, I'm sorry for when I edit this. So it's a 120-foot stone and concrete tower, and it replaced an earlier lookout that had burned in a case of suspected arson.
Ooh.
I was also very blurry when I was writing this. You're gonna see a lot of mistakes.
No worries.
So yes, it was replacing an earlier. Ironically, the fire tower burned.
Yeah.
So what type of spooky occurrences are reported at the tower? Do you have any guesses?
My first knee jerk is smelling smoke or seeing smoke in the distance, or potentially seeing fires burning in the distance. I've heard, for example, in Gettysburg, people will sometimes see, like, campfires on the battlefield, but when they go to investigate, nothing's there. Also, footsteps on the stairs.
Those are all good ones, and there are a lot of stairs in there.
Oh, yeah.
Things like disembodied giggling voices.
Oh, I don't like disembodied giggling. No, thank you.
Disembodied is bad enough.
Like giggling?
Giggling.
Ugh.
Also, a very pale, misty outline of a woman who is supposed to be just hanging out on the lower parts of the stairs.
She set the tower on fire.
She might have. She didn't start the fire. Motorists hear something or someone scrape across the roofs of their car.
Ooh.
It's very Hookman legend.
Yes.
Did you guys see that episode of Supernatural?
Which episode was that?
It's early.
I feel like I did, yes.
It's in, like, the first 11 episodes of season 1.
Oh, yeah, I definitely got to it then. I was like, why does that... I can't remember the episodes. Wait, isn't that... Like, wasn't that guy, the Hookman, like, really racist?
You're thinking of the truck.
Oh, shoot, I'm thinking of the truck. I know I saw Hookman, though. I remember it.
Spoiler, if you haven't gotten to the first season of Supernatural by now. It was a... I guess he might... It wasn't racist, but it was a priest that was, like, going after unrighteous...
That's
the
right.
ghost of a priest that was going after unrighteous people.
Yeah.
But then, like, one of the people the daughters of one of, like, the rectory's current priests was given, like, a necklace with his hook melted down, and she had this very strong, like, morality.
Yeah.
And, like, she was accidentally summoning his ghost to kill people.
Oops.
I think that's a decent synopsis of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers over. On the road, there's reports of the outline of a woman just kind of just glides across the road just out of sight.
Ooh.
So I'm taking a direct quote here. One investigator said he captured the voice of the ghost of Mrs. Cooper, trigger warning, child death, whose baby was killed in a trolley accident near the Skyline Drive area in the 1890s.
Aww.
Although the fire tower wasn't built until 1938, It's said that the spirit of Mrs. Cooper, who survived the crash, is on the tower's second floor. So that would probably be the ghost that's spotted there.
Yeah.
She had nothing to do with the fire, apparently.
No.
There's also a rocking chair area.
Okay.
Which just seems like
bizarre.
Such a creepy thing.
Yeah.
Like
a random thing to be in a fire tower.
I vaguely remember this, though.
It does make sense because I'm thinking of, like, modern day fire watch towers.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually one that you can, like, volunteer to stay in. And I forget where it is, but you can be a volunteer fire watch person, and I want to do
That's
it.
Cool.
But anyway, it does make sense because if you had people, you essentially are living there on your shift for the fire watch, so it does make sense, like, they'd have, but it still feels very strange.
A bunch of rocking chairs in a haunted location seems very spooky to me.
Yes, correct.
But it's said that these rocking chairs will sometimes, like, contain the ghosts of Paul and Martha Walker, and they were caretakers in the 1940s.
Okay.
There's also reports of, and I quote, a really dark gray shadow that will come up the steps.
Nope.
And then if you are to walk through the shadow, why you would do this is beyond me. It's supposed to have a feeling of being chilled.
Don't walk through him.
This is supposed to be Mr. Walker.
Poor Mr. Walker.
But apparently, he kind of is a mixed bag.
Okay.
Because not only does he give you weird chills, he'll sometimes talk to people and, like, you know...
offered to help women up the stairs.
Yeah.
Aww.
I read that as down for a second.
Oh.
So yeah, he'll, like, offer to help women up the stairs and, like, give them a hand and give them, just help them up all the stairs.
Yeah.
Don't know what he does to men.
No.
And there's also, once again, the history of murders and suicides near the tower, which is supposed to contribute to the hauntings.
Sure.
Once again, I didn't see any things to substantiate that, but I also didn't dig that far into it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to Mr. Charles Adams III.
Okay.
So he has an opinion about the hauntings at the pagoda and at the fire tower, and he is of the opinion that it's not the buildings that are haunted, it's the area.
Sure.
So, I'm going to take a direct quote here. Nearby tragedies along Skyline Drive may be what people sense or reference when they attribute activity to the tower itself. He is not saying that the tower and the pagoda aren't haunted.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that it is not things that happened in those
right
buildings that are haunted. It's the entirety of Skyline Drive is haunted, and they just happen to be there.
The pagoda and the tower didn't cause the hauntings. The hauntings were there, and then
the hauntings caused themselves.
The hauntings caused themselves, and now they're seeing this newly built structures and just going
cool.
like, what is this?
Especially the pagoda.
Oh yeah,
they're probably like, and that was actually like in the Avatar movie.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
The James Cameron you're talking about, right?
No, the Last Airbender.
Oh, I didn't see the that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, so he's not saying they're not haunted. I think what he's saying is like, yeah, they're haunted, but they're not haunted because something happened in the buildings. They're just haunted because they are where they are.
Correct. Makes sense.
All right, so let's go on to, I think you're gonna like this one a lot, Stokesay Castle and the Knights Pub. I don't think I've ever actually been in Stokesay Castle.
Okay.
The high school I went to had their prom there a couple years ago.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine being like, we had our prom in a castle? Not to brag.
Actually, do me a favor and look up Stokesay Castle.
Okay.
I'll be surprised if you don't want to go there when we visit.
I was going to say, I heard castle, and I'm like, I already want to go to there.
So, Stokesay Castle is currently a restaurant, but it is like a English castle. What's the word I want? The type of building it is. It's like a stately manor almost.
Yeah, like an English manor.
Yeah, yes. So it's a restaurant and pub.
That's cool. Can we eat there when we go to the tower?
Mm-hmm.
Aw, someone had their wedding there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a really popular like prom and wedding venue.
That's cool. We should. I vote if it's not $1 million to eat there.
We'll look at the menu then.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Are you ready to hear about the hauntings of Stokesay Castle?
Absolutely.
This includes the smell of roses, shadows, footsteps, and whispering disembodied voices. We're back to the disembodied voices.
Disembodied voices. Why?
So that's kind of the generalized gist of the hauntings, but there's some more specific.
Okay.
We have the Lady in Grey.
Ooh.
This is a sorrowful figure, and she is dressed in Victorian-era clothing, and she vanishes before people can catch up to her.
Okay.
Then let's talk about the Great Hall. So the chandeliers will swing on their own, and people report hearing music when no one is there. They also report the sensation of someone brushing up against you.
Uh,
Like ladies in dresses.
yeah, I guess they're dancing. They just brush. Oh, that's cool, though. That's creepy, but it's cool. I don't like the chandelier swinging.
All right, you ready for this next one?
Yeah.
Demon wine cellar.
Demon wine cellar, let's go.
Why not?
Why not?
There are reports of an oppressive energy in the wine cellar that makes the air heavy and breathing more difficult, and there's low growls reported.
Ooh.
Are people maybe just drunk?
I mean, maybe. Something doesn't want them down there.
Get out, it's my wine.
It's my wine!
Get your own
Damn it.
wine. Get your own wine.
It's the Dungarvan Hooter.
Helix rum.
Oh, true. Yeah. I wonder what flavor of her own. Anyway.
I'm back to freaking Kokomo in my head now. Anyways. So
this was disassociation.
So speaking of a demon wine cellar, do you want to hear a tangential story here before we go on to the Luton's mansion?
I sure do.
So when I was in my high school ghost hunting club, what a sentence. We investigated this old house outside of Fleetwood, and it was a tea room, but one of the people at my high school, one of the students, her mom owned it and she was a psychic. And I had so many weird things happen in that building. Actually, let's save that for the end.
Okay.
So put a pin in that. We'll come back to some of my own experiences. All right, so let's talk about the Luton's mansion. That's also known as the Bon Air Mansion, but what it became later on was Central Catholic, which was Reading's Catholic high school, where my dad went.
Oh, okay,
My
okay,
dad
okay.
is an alum of Central Catholic.
Gotcha.
Central Catholic's not a thing anymore. They merged with Holy Name, and now they're Berks Catholic.
Okay.
I did not go to Catholic school, though one of my high school boyfriends did, and he was a wonderful person.
Perfect.
So, when I say Luton's, what comes to your brain?
I had something and it just went right out. I don't know if you literally saw the light leave my eyes for a minute, but I was like, oh crap. Like it went right out and I can't get it back.
Cough drops.
Cough drops.
It's that Luton's family.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So they had other confectionery things too, but they're best known for the cough drops.
Okay.
And that is that family. And I guess at some point the mansion got donated to the diocese or the parish in Reading.
Huh.
So the mansion was either built in 1914 or 1922.
Okay.
Depending on the source. That's a big difference.
It is.
Even my sources were like, yeah, we don't know either.
Huh.
They're like, this is the discrepancy. We don't understand it either. It was literally what one of my sources was like, yeah, it's really different numbers.
I guess if it took a really long time to build, maybe it was like it could have been started in 1914.
Yeah, I wonder.
Or something like that.
Now, there was one suicide of the Luton's family. However, this would not take place on the property, though, because I think some of the stories kind of dealt with a ghost with a suicide.
Okay.
One of the members did die. They passed away that way.
Okay.
But not on the property. So ghostly footsteps are reported, the sounds of creaking doors, and the smell of peppermint, which I wonder had to do with the cough drops.
I just had that thought. I wonder if that's...
There is a ballroom, and there's reports of hearing ghostly melodies. Whoa. In the upper rooms, there are reports of people hearing their names whispered.
Nope.
Objects moving on their own.
Don't talk to me.
And a rocking chair rocking on its own.
Ooh, back to the rocking chairs, too.
It gets better. And reports of a figure standing out a window and vanishing.
Oh.
Do you know all but one of those occurred in my house growing up?
I don't like that.
All but the figure.
The figure staring out the window?
Maybe my dad made a friend when he was at Central.
Maybe. Yeesh.
He brought a friend home.
That's not okay.
My dad didn't tell me any ghost stories, unfortunately. He just told me how scary the nuns were.
That was his ghost story. That was his horror story.
There apparently was this... I mean, he would say things about there being, like, reports of ghosts up on the upper floors, because that's a lot of the original fixtures and stuff were.
Okay, sure.
And there was a marble staircase that only the upperclassmen were allowed to go on.
Okay.
But yeah, he would say a lot of the reports were from like, the upper floors.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense because the students, I don't think, were supposed to be up there.
Right.
So, all right. So we're going to move in. This isn't quite a haunting. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about just a gruesome murder that took place. So trigger warnings here. I'm not going to go into excruciating detail because this episode isn't necessarily about the Dreamland Park murders, but I feel like it would be a misstep to not talk about them in an episode about Reading and just kind of strange things. And I want to make sure that if we do this, we give it the credit it's due. I don't know that we will.
Okay. Like, do it as its own episode,
Yeah.
you mean? Okay.
But trigger warning, sexual assault and murder.
Okay.
So Dreamland Park was a small amusement park that operated outside of Reading by Ralph Trace. Technically, this was in Pricetown, which is just right outside of Reading.
Okay.
Pricetown is where my first pony lived.
Oh.
You guys are getting a tour of my home area.
Yeah.
I heard about Dreamland Park growing up, but it was like no one talked about, like, it would be mentioned, but I think it was a pretty big deal and it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah. And it's not there anymore.
No.
Okay.
It's kind of...
It's just a dark
yeah.
section of history.
So it was noted in my source that Mr. Ralph here owned many illegal gambling establishments in the 30s and 40s.
Okay. Okay.
So the park originally opened in 1939, according to our AI overlords at Google. The park had a band theater, a roller rink, and a direct quote here, midget car racetrack.
Okay. That just means like go-karts, I'm assuming, at today's day and age.
Quote, a few rides and a picnic area.
Okay.
Don't know what the few rides entailed either. They didn't go into very much detail.
Yeah. 1930s, late 30s, early 40s, I would assume probably like a carousel, maybe a Ferris wheel. Yeah. Carousels are my favorite.
Me too. So once again, not giving a whole lot of detail, but this was the site of a very gruesome murder in 1969.
Oh, so this is relatively recent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Glenn Eckert and Marilyn Scheckler were teenagers in their early 20s, and they were murdered in the woods near Dreamland Park by two members of the Pagan motorcycle gang. Marilyn also, unfortunately, endured a lot of sexual assault during this before she was murdered.
Oh.
Now, I'm not going to go into details on how they were murdered because it is gruesome. It was, if you guys want to hear more about this, we can. But it was, I believe he was shot and she was beat to death.
Oh God.
I could be wrong in that, but I believe that's kind of the details there. Now, the case, I'm going to take a direct quote here. The case went to trial in 1970, and two of the bikers, Leroy S. Stoltzfus Jr., who was 21, and Robert Martinolik, who was 22, were convicted of murdering the teens during two separate trials. Both claimed innocence, and they both received life sentences in separate state prisons.
My God.
There were two other gang members that I think were not tried because they didn't participate in the murders, from what I can understand.
Okay. Do you know if they were, and I can do more research into this myself if you don't know, but do you know if they were, like, ever convicted of anything?
I don't believe so.
Great.
Well, I don't know that they were actually compliant in the murders.
They might have been present but didn't.
Or, I don't, because at one point they kidnapped them, took them to, another nearby town.
Oh.
And, got a boxcar. And I don't know if it was just, they were just like, oh, here's your boxcar. And, I don't know the details.
Sure.
So, I don't know if they were actually part of
They might have just
the
been
assault and the murder, or if it was just
really unlucky, wrong place, wrong time type of.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
Whew.
So I don't want
to
give incorrect information.
No, I get that.
And like I said, this is just kind of a quick, I want to make sure I give this a little bit of, especially the two teenagers, early 20s, who were, brutally murdered.
Yeah.
So yes, and then the park ended up being sold, and there's still a sign for Dreamland Park apparently back in that area, like a road sign.
Oh.
But that's just kind of the nutshell of the Dreamland Park murders. It was a pretty intense thing there.
Jeez.
All right, let's go to the Allenbach Cemetery. Would you like to go to a cemetery?
Yeah.
That'll be a little pick me up after that one.
Yeah, that's bad, man.
Actually, never mind. I remember what this is.
Just kidding.
This is not a pick me up. Just kidding. This is like a local tale.
Okay.
So let's talk about the grave of Rosie Leand.
Okay.
This is the final resting place of a young girl who passed away in 1870. At her grave is a very peculiar statue. It's missing its head and right arm.
Oh.
According to local legend, this damage was done by a group of teenagers. But that's not the end of the tale. Ready for another trigger warning?
Mm-hmm.
This is about like car accident, dismemberment, decapitation.
Okay.
Allegedly, these teens were involved in a car crash later that very night and were decapitated and lost arms.
Ooh.
Supposedly, the head and the arms from Rosie's statue were found in the car's trunk.
Ooh.
Did this story actually happen? My sources say it's unclear.
Yeah.
I think it might just be one of those like local pieces of folklore of like, yeah, there's this really kind of weird statue because it's missing things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, yeah, you know, that's because it's just like one of those like urban legends kind of things.
Could have developed, like, it's very possible maybe the grave was defaced and then the legend grew of this is the reason you don't do this kind of, like, modern day boogeyman.
Yeah.
Don't do this or she's going to come after you.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of like an episode of Supernatural, honestly.
It does. It really does.
If you guys can't tell, I'm rewatching the series, so it's very front of mind.
Yeah.
But this also feels very much like a Supernatural episode.
It does. It does.
Oh, they should have done that.
They should have. That would have been a good
That would
one.
have been great.
They have to have some kind of. They have a lot of car episodes.
They do. Cars are important.
Cars are important.
So, besides that piece of urban legend, there's also orbs and other anomalies caught on photos and videos in that area of the cemetery.
Ooh, okay. I was just gonna say, I feel bad for her that someone like defaced her.
Well,
statue.
and it's possible it wasn't even defaced. It's possible 1870.
That's true. That's pretty old.
Got worn down.
Yeah, that is very true.
So,
nature will eventually take everything back.
We're gonna go to Grin's Mill.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk about Lock 49 at Union Canal towpath.
Okay.
Another trigger warning. We're going to be talking about a murder-suicide of a mother and child. And children. Start with a direct quote here. Louisa Bissinger walked her children to Lock 49 East on the towpath, gathered stones in a basket, tied it around her waist, and jumped into the canal while holding the 3 children.
Whoa.
The witness present was unable to save them, and they all tragically drowned.
Whoa.
Yeah. This act was thought to be caused by her husband's infidelity, and in order to not be pushed out of her house and have the mistress raise her children, she decided to commit this act.
Girl.
These are real people. You can visit their graves.
Oh my gosh, the kids?
I also have a note in here of like, we talked about this before in previous episodes that it wasn't on this episode. It was in the Faust episode.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't on the show.
Oh, it was on. I almost said it was on Aziraphale's Extra Research.
It was on
Sauntering Vaguely Podwards.
We talked about postpartum,
mm-hmm.
and that, now I am not saying people with postpartum generally do not hurt their children.
No.
But there are some extreme cases, especially in times when people weren't really scanning for that and medical stuff was not as good, where people would hurt their children.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder if this woman was dealing with postpartum, and if, you know, she finds she's dealing with postpartum, sounds like has multiple children, and then her husband is having an affair, and the possibility of her being kicked out of her home and someone else raising her children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if she's having some kind of postpartum psychosis.
That's what my brain just came
mm-hmm.
up with, was like some kind of, not hallucination, I guess, but like psychosis. Mm-hmm. Like that's not a healthy person, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would probably fall more into like a delusion.
Yeah, yes, that's the word I was trying to think of, not
yes.
hallucination.
So that makes, whenever I hear stories, because Women in White are pretty commonly stories of women drowning their children. It's almost always drowning, too, for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, drowning and poisoning would have been accessible to women.
That's true.
And usually they also drown themselves.
Yeah. God, that's... Ugh.
So you can apparently visit their graves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did exist. And the story doesn't end there, though. There have been sightings of the spirits of the children. Well, this, like, breaks my heart. Happily gathering stones while their mother watches.
Oh.
There are also reports of disembodied cries and a sense of doom along this pathway.
Yeah.
I always knew Grin's Mill was haunted. I just didn't know the story behind it.
That's...
And I can understand why people didn't tell me as, like, a kid and teenager.
Yeah. Can I give my thought on, like, the stones thing?
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be... I mean, this whole story is dark as hell, but, like, that just reminds me of... mom knew this was gonna happen, but, like, she obviously wasn't gonna tell her kids this is gonna happen, so she's like, go gather me some stones. Go
Like,
get me some rocks.
Are they gathering the rocks for the drowning?
That's what it reminds me of.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Like, that she's gonna, like, put in their pockets or something, or in her pocket. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
That's why we put trigger warnings.
Yeah.
This whole episode is a trigger warning.
Yeah.
All right, this one's a little bit quirky. We're gonna go to happier places.
Okay.
First Energy Stadium is the minor league baseball stadium in Reading, of the Fighting Phillies.
The Fighting Phillies.
Or the Fighting Phils, sorry. The Fighting Phil, which is
Phils?
Fighting Phils. So they're the AA affiliation for the Phillies.
Okay.
I had gone to several of those games, and I don't understand. I understand baseball, but I'm just, listen, if you like sports, we love that for you.
Yes.
We are not sports people.
No.
But if you love sports, we love that for you. Yes.
I'm never gonna judge someone for liking sports
We like
because
horses.
we like horses. I like watching dressage, which to normal people, quote unquote, is like watching paint dry. So
So one of my best friends in high school, they had like season passes, and her and I would go, and like, but we just like
when everyone else cheers, just cheer with them.
yeah,
Sports.
Yay, sports.
I will never, thinking of sports, I will never turn down an invitation to a Super Bowl party, by the way. And I will be the most...
food?
Absolutely, yes.
Uh-huh.
I'll be the most unobtrusive guest. I'll just sit in a corner and eat food. And when your team cheers, I'll cheer for your team. I might not know who they are, but I'll cheer for you.
Yay.
Sports.
Yay, men in tight pants.
We're men in tights, tights.
That's so silly.
I love it.
Yes. We have nothing against sports. Neither of us are versed well in sports.
Right.
That don't involve horses.
Correct.
Because horseback riding is a sport.
It sure is.
Anyways. First Energy Stadium. Oh, one of my one aunt and uncle live very close to it, and you can hear the fireworks go off at night, and they have an African gray parrot.
Oh, no.
And it goes, do you hear the boom booms? Anyways. So, allegedly, a fan's final request was for their ashes to be spread illegally in the outfield.
No.
Since then, reports of hauntings include the scoreboard and other electronics flickering and malfunctioning ever since. I wonder
that's kind of funny.
if that only happens when, like, does it happen when their team is losing?
My brain went right there. I was like, they're angry that their team is losing.
Starts trying.
That was a foul!
Starts trying to change the scoreboard.
Yes.
All right, do you want to hear some personal stories?
Yeah.
So I can tell the story about the ghost hunting in that house outside of Reading, and then I'll talk about my parents' and grandparents' house. And some of these are secondhand hauntings because I didn't live in my parents' first house.
Okay.
So there was the tea room that I mentioned earlier. We had two kind of weird things happen in there. They had this root cellar in the basement. Also, this Victorian house is not there anymore. So in the basement, it just felt unwelcoming.
Yeah.
And we were also with a professional ghost hunting team for this.
Oh, cool.
So it just felt unwelcoming. And then we were reviewing EVPs later. We got this really, it sounds like Daddy.
Daddy.
We got this really low, gravelly voice say, "Get out."
Get out.
That's basically what it sounded like.
Ooh. It was Daddy.
It was not friendly.
Oh, it was not Daddy. Just kidding.
It was not friendly. I've been watching the reels of this one person talking about different animals. It's like, friend, not friend. Not friend.
Not friend.
So that was, and like the reports were of a like negative entity in the root cellar.
Ooh.
And then in the attic, the story was that there was a African man and either African or like biracial man and a white girl when that was not legal.
Yeah.
And they would go up to meet in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
And so the person that owns it was telling us that story. And then I go to get up and I can't.
Uh-oh.
And I'm kind of sitting in a crawl space. And a hanger, like a
wire hanger?
Yeah. Had wrapped itself. I'm not wearing pants with I'm wearing...
I'm not wearing pants. Sorry.
So
she is in fact wearing pants.
I'm wearing yoga pants with pockets.
Yes.
But it had wrapped itself. I was trying to show you and I can't because I don't have
the belt loops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am wearing pants. And it would wrap itself like it was wrapped around Not just once.
Like a couple times through that belt loop.
Yeah. So it had poked out of a trash bag. And it had wrapped itself around multiple times, and someone else had to unwrap me.
Oh my gosh.
And the psychic lady was like, man, they like you.
Great. Bye.
Like, they really like you. They don't want you to leave. And I'm like,
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
they're coming on a little strong.
Yeah.
So the house that I grew up in was in Fleetwood, which is about 15 minutes from Reading. And we also had the whispering.
Ugh.
Like, we would hear our names being called.
Especially
Especially in the basement.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you don't have to go in that house. You can't. We don't own it anymore.
Yeah.
There was a rocking chair that would rock on its own. And there were two family member entities that we think haunted that house. And we usually would joke that we could tell who it was by how fast it was rocking.
Oh. Like family members, like your family members? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I won't say on the air who it is, but you can probably guess.
Yeah.
Well, the one.
Yeah.
The other one was my grandfather.
Okay.
My dad and I, and then an ex-boyfriend who is not the one who went to Catholic school. This is a different ex-boyfriend. This one was kind of a jerk.
Alright.
So we would see a shadow figure go up the stairwell. Never down, just up. So those were some of the main things. My parents would smell flowers a certain time of the year.
Oh.
Things like that. Things would move. And then the house that my parents had with my older brother and sister when they were younger, they would see my brother always said there was like something in the bathroom or in the mirrors. I don't know the exact
Not the mirror.
But my mom would think she would see my sister sleepwalking, and then she'd go and it wasn't her.
Oh.
And they said that there was an elderly lady that owned the house before them, and she couldn't have children or really wanted them. So my mom thinks that she was just looking after the kids.
Oh.
My grandmother's house, my dad's mom. My mom's parents, my dad's parents, and my parents' first house were all on different blocks of the same street.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm. All in Reading.
Huh.
And I don't know about my mom's parents' house, but my dad's parents, my dad's mom was still alive until I was in high school.
Okay.
And there were like my cousins and I swear that we saw my dad's dad, who had passed years previously. I never met him. In the one room, like we pointed him out in a picture. My grandmother would have, before she had dementia, would have stuff go moving. My mom had this thing where she was helping my grandmother clean, and the bucket of water was at either the top or the bottom of the stairs. The phone rang, so like they took a break, went to get the phone, and came back, and the bucket of water was
At the opposite end
Uh-huh.
of the... He said, I'm gonna help you out.
There was something about the back room of the house that I was absolutely terrified of. Like, I would not go on the upstairs. I would not go upstairs by myself. I would make my mom go up to the back and go outside the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, something about that one day just terrified me, and I don't know what it was.
What the heck?
Yeah, so that house was...
I feel like I'm gonna be freaked out by my hallway tonight.
It's okay, you have to do daddy to...
Daddy, you better be here. You better not be going to visit our friends, because I'm gonna need you here.
Ugh.
I'm gonna need you to do me a solid and stay home tonight.
So yeah, those were kind of some of the encounters at my grandmother's house, and just like stuff would move, things like that.
Oh boy.
Yep.
All kinds of goodies.
So I do have some interesting facts and those types of things.
Okay.
Oh, so the first one, this is another trigger warning for infanticide and murder. This is another thing that I can't not mention when talking about the Reading area is Susanna Cox.
Okay.
She was tried and convicted of infanticide. Is that right?
Infanticide?
Yeah.
I think so.
In 1809 and hung in Reading.
Ooh.
This was like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like people, she was a woman being hung first off.
That's, yeah.
And like we learned about her in like middle school.
Oh, wow.
And it was a huge thing. From what I remember, the trial wasn't, she was the servant girl of some family, and she was impregnated by the married neighbor, so I don't know if it was consensual. There's also thoughts that it might have been a stillborn and she was kind of set up.
That very much sounds like a setup. Like, I don't want to speculate, but that's what that reads.
Strange Familiars did a whole thing on this story.
Okay.
But this is such a weird thing. So the Kutztown, which is where Kutztown University, it's another close town to Reading, had a Pennsylvania Dutch folk festival for years, and they just stopped it a couple years ago.
Oh,
like everything was in Pennsylvania Dutch, so like Pennsylvania German, Deutsch.
Yeah.
And you would all have like the traditional Pennsylvania Deutsch foods, all of that stuff. But we always had the reenacted hanging of Susanna Cox. And I mentioned that to someone in passing, and they were like,
what the
what?
fuck?
So it's very recent. I was talking to someone not from Berks County.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah. And then we'd have like the reenactment of a hanging, and they were like,
maybe don't do that.
And I was like, is that not normal for fairs? And they're like, no.
No. Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome to Berks County. So on that note, do you have any thoughts?
I want to dig more into Susanna Cox because I want to hear her story. I'm gonna have to listen to Strange Familiars.
I definitely think it was not a fair trial.
It very much sounds like, again, I don't want to, and this is just based on what you have just told me now. I've never heard of this story. The TLDR version that you just gave me sounds like some kind of assault happened. This poor girl ended up pregnant, potentially had a stillborn, or
and then she tried to hide it,
and like tried to hide it, or
probably like
she's probably terrified.
Yeah, and then she tried to hide it, and then there's
it almost honestly seems to me as the person who got her pregnant was trying to hide what they did, and they silenced her.
But yeah, so it's
tried to silence her.
If you want to hear more about this,
yeah.
So yeah, what are your any other thoughts about any of the hauntings? A lot of them are very, very dark.
Yeah, I would say we dove into a dark part of.
I feel like all of my like collections of hauntings are all really dark. Like Hawk Mountain was too.
That's the thing about hauntings is like,
how do you get ghosts? Usually death.
Yep, exactly. Usually death. Yeah, and very, very infrequently is it good things that have happened to these people.
Any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
Reading's an odd place.
Reading is an odd place. Should we say we're going to go today?
Yes. There was also a rock. I didn't put this in this part of the notes. There was this Pennsylvania Dutch powwow rock somewhere.
Oh, I am so fascinated by powwow. Pennsylvania Dutch powwow. Heckenkopf. Kopf is head.
So witch's head rock. There's also a witch's like there's a lot of stuff in Berks County, and I didn't, I only just stuck to Reading.
Yeah, there's so much. It's fascinating history.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
We're going to Reading. We're going back to the old stomping grounds.
Yeah,
my old stomping grounds.
We are hitting Bree's old stomping ground. We're gonna do a little something strange field trip to the Hawk Mountain area. We're gonna check out Hawk Mountain in the Reading area.
It always feels weird to go back there because my parents don't live in Fleetwood anymore.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't want to say a liminal space,
like uncanny.
Yes,
because other people bought that house.
Yeah,
and I have no desire. Like I have no desire to go back to the house I grew up in.
Right.
But it's like a lot of our old neighbors aren't there anymore. They passed away because they were older. And my brother still lives in the greater area. I have family, and I have a couple of friends from high school that still live in that area. But it just feels uncanny.
Yes, that's a really good way to. That's how I think of. So some of my family lives up in the Berwick area, and that's how I feel whenever I visit where my grandma and grandpa used to live. I still, every time I go up to visit my family that still lives up there, I like to drive past their old house. And I think of it was my grandfather's house too, but I think of it as my grandma's house because my grandmother was alive a lot longer than my grandfather. But it does feel very like
uncanny.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could see the inside just like one more time.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they did differently. But
yeah,
does that kind of
I think that wraps us up? Should we do questions?
Sure.
All right. What drew you to this topic?
You wonderful people. You voted it in, and I did the research, and it was actually kind of cool and nostalgic. I would be doing something like, oh yeah, I remember this. Or once again, I knew Grins Mill was haunted, but I didn't know why, or I knew like tangentially some of the stories, but I didn't know them in detail.
Sure. That's cool. Was there anything you wish you could have researched more into?
So the Susanna Cox,
Mhm.
Dreamland Park, those are much more your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
The rock that I couldn't pronounce.
Hexenkopf Rock?
Yeah. So a lot of the hauntings themselves don't have a whole lot of, like, I couldn't do a whole episode on the Ludens Mansion
Sure.
without going into the Ludens family and Central Catholic and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like to primarily look at the hauntings, a lot of those I couldn't go much further into.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Now, it would be cool to do Berks County in general.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
What did you find the most strange about this topic?
The first Energy Stadium.
Yes.
The ghost is like, oh, you're not gonna lose. Like, I'm gonna just
Can't lose a game if I kill the scoreboard.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. Well, I guess does that wrap us up for our discussion about Reading hauntings?
Yes, it does. All right. Well, strangers, it's time for us to part ways.
Until we meet again, keep an ear out for phantom music.
We'll be back again soon with another
Something strange.